Hi everyone, welcome back to AWS Launch Master Course. So here we all know we are in the track of right now discussing about Ec2. There have been a couple of videos we had this before. So continuation of that, right? In this video we are going to talk about scenarios. Okay. These scenarios are taken up from the live project. Here few of them. Let me open the scenario by the way. So if we can see, right, AWS EC2 use. So this is the problem statement. This is the real project use case we are going to implement practically in our AWS. Now, my client Nokia need a web server for yes, we are going to take a Nokia client in this use case. They are looking for a Windows server for which means that server. Okay, in that case, what will happen is this is going to be my Windows. Okay, my client Nokia looking to set up this Windows. Okay. So I'll watch launching the server, right? They are looking to have an additional one. Basically, if I go into my AWS console, if you all remember in last video, we have provisioned this particular demo instance video. If I click on connect, right, I should be able to retrieve the password again. Click password, upload the key, demo key, decrypt it so that we would be able to see the password user. So now what I'm gonna do, let me open this in new tab. I'll take the public IP server, open my remote desktop tool, PC. Now for the username and username. So now we are connecting to this EC2 instance. This server has been created as last session itself. So I'm going to reuse the same server for project. Okay. Yes, the server is ready. We'll go back to our case discussion. So we have created a server. Now, so launch the server with 3 additional ones. Actually, if you go to AWS console, here you can server scroll little down. There is an option called storage. Here, if you go, we should be able to see how many volumes are mapped with this server. We should be able to see. Where you can see, as of now, only one server, this one particular server having only one size of the volume would be around 30 GB. But my client requirement is we need to add a full volume, 100 GB for some various size. They would like to add the volume. Okay. So here only we are going to discuss about the concept called elastic block store. In AWS, for any EC2 instance, when you want to add a particular storage, you definitely need to get it from this particular EBS elastic store. It's like your hard disk or various types of disks available. I'll explain about it, but for now, this EBS kind of storage. At present, I can see 30 GB volumes available. This has been mapped with this device. So we all know backend of this EC2 instance, there should be some hypervisor which is managed in AWS. They are main virtualization technology. This volume, right, when I mapped, it has mapped in the naming conversion of /dev/SDA. There is a device name. It should be unique one. If I add a new volume, I'll be getting one more device. So what is the use of this device? Future, I'm detaching or attaching or I'm replacing any other volume. I can refer this device name. I can attach with the same area with the same device name. It will be helpful. Okay, I'll show you that. So at present, we confirmed only one volume is there. Still, we will confirm once again inside the server. Okay, so this is my server. This we should be able to see how many volumes assigned to this. I think we created a server with the T2 micro, right? T2 micro means is something one core CPU. And so let's check the reference type here. Here we can type. Otherwise, see T2 micro. Okay, so T2 micro means one core CPU, 1 GB RAM. That is the reason you can see the server low, but not an issue. We go there, right? We could see 30 GB. So same thing only we confirmed it over here also. Okay, if I open my disk managed tool, we should be able to see only one. Okay. Now going back to the requirement and use case. If I go over here, my client want me to add additional 3 volume. The volume capacity should be like this way. Okay. First volume must be 100 GB of size. Second volume must be 10 GB of size. Last volume 10 GB of. This is the size they have requested for. So what I will do, I'll quickly this data GB EBS volume 10 GB volume T. So since they have declared the server, they are mainly for storing the data. Future, anytime we need, can obviously go and add new volumes. That is totally flexible in cloud, especially in AWS. Okay, I'm going to the AWS account. Okay, in this AWS account, right? We all need to go to the volume. Let me open this in new tab. If we go over here, we should be able to see there are 2 volumes available. Okay, these 2 volumes are already mapped since I have 2 EC2 instances with me, right? So this has been allocated by these 2. You can see state is, you can see it like in use. Okay, EBS volume has various state. So now our requirement is to create a 3 new additional. Now our requirement is to have a 3 new additional volume. Okay, let us create it. But before creates the EBS volume, right, we should understand there is something called region availability in AWS. Only then you can properly map your volume to your particular, which means that in AWS for high availability, for organizing your resource and for latency, avoiding latency related issue, AWS having a concept called region. If you go to this particular area, you should be able to see so how many AWS account having this particular regions. All the AWS accounts having this particular region. There you can see North Virginia, Ohio, California, Mumbai, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo, Central India. Canada Central, Frankfurt, Ireland. Like it keep goes. There are few regions which are not supported by this account or which are coming in future. Okay, so why these many countries AWS regions? Basically, we are located in India, so nearest region for us Mumbai. So we are using it. Future, there may be people using AWS. Their application base available within US, their application base available within Europe. So if they create servers and all this resources in different country, unnecessarily the network pack, whenever customers users access that application, it has to travel that much, it has to come back. To avoid that latency issue only, every location AWS access possible, one particular hub kind of locations, right? They have provided this region. So whichever is nearest to you, wherever you have more user base, based on that you need to decide and choose one region. Okay, these regions are exactly a location, region versus availability. Okay, let me go to this documentation. I'll go through you when you come to the region. So each region has the region code: US East, North Virginia, Ohio, California. Like similarly, right? Each region will have the region code: US East 1, US East 2, West 1, West 2. You can indicate or you represent your region either using code or either is whatever. Okay, followed by, if you come down, there is something called availability. Okay, so when you have one particular region, right, that region will have a many. Okay, that region will have a many. Okay, so how the availability zones are? Here you go. So in this particular region, if you take an example of Mumbai, there will be a first availability zone, the A, second availability called as a B, the third availability zone is C. Likewise, in your each and every region, minimum there will be a 3 to 5, 6 different availability zone will be there. Depends upon the distance, usage. So this availability zone, one availability zone to another availability zone, minimum there are 300, 400 kilometer distance. Okay. So these availability zones are a physical data center which are available inside the region, which means that each region will have a minimum 3 or 4 or 5 availability zone. Mainly why we have these many availability back in this, if something happened to one data due to any disaster or whatever, something happened to one particular data center, still within the region itself we have 2 more or 3 more availability zones. Okay, the availability zones are exactly your data. So technically, for AWS naming convention, we have AZ mean available. So each and every region has the available. Now you can confirm the instance what we created, right? It comes under which availability zone, which region. Region you can see here. Mumbai, the region code also AP South 1, region code also AP South 1. In order to confirm which availability zone it is, you can go to the networking tab. Okay. If you scroll down, it will indicate which availability zone. AP South 1B. 1B in the sense this fall under the availability zone 2. Okay. So this is the way we can identify it. And who decides EC2 instance comes in availability zone 1 or available 2 or 3 or 4? Who decides that? So when we spin up a new EC2, right, whatever the subnet we are thinking, based on the subnet only, this particular availability zone. Then in the network setting, while creating a subnet, right, after VPC, I'll have to select the availability. Whatever the availability zone I selected while creating the subnet, based on that only your instance will be get. I believe since this instance belongs to 1B availability zone, so obviously the subnet also belongs to 1. Okay, that is the reason even in this architecture diagram, see, subnet wise they have, okay, the subnet availability zone A. Okay, now we have confirmed our volume server created in this 1B availability zone. So we need to make sure the volume whatever we are creating, right, it should be 1B availability. Okay, let me quickly go and I'll click on create volume. When I click on create volume, right, there are various different options of different volume types. So mainly, right, as of now people are recommended to use GP3, that is the latest SSD. I hope you must be having a difference between the HDD and HDD is kind of an older technology, we would say. It's a little bit performance wise lower than SSD. This particular SSD, right, has a good performance. We would be able to manage things very faster manner. So this SSD itself, we have a 4 categories. One is provisioned IOPS G1, provisioned IOPS G2. Other than that, right, general purpose GP2 and GP3. So widely people are using GP2 or GP3, and the provisioned IOPS, right, which has more throughput, read and write, performance, everything will be high, little high to provision. But of course, yes, you can see the charges also a little bit. So if you have a general server, if you wanted to use it for regular purpose, recommended to go with general. Okay. Mostly in my understanding, we never use this, but AWS, yeah, go with anyone. So size should be 100 GB IOPS, input output per second. So throughput. So all those things we are selecting, but we need to make sure this has to be 1B. Okay, let me create a volume. So the volume as created, which is the size should be B. You can see the status creating. 2 of them are in use. In use means the volume already at your server. Creating means still creating. It become available. So whichever the volume showing like it's available, it's ready for map to any EC2. So now I need to map this 100 GB volume to one of my EC2 instance. Let me go to the action. I'll go to attach. Okay, we do have some other options also. I'll come back explain about what are the But for now, I'm going to attach this my EC2. Let me click on attach. So here I need to provide my demo EC2. Only one region, only one particular EC2 instance is available in this particular region. So result getting one added. So this is device name. You remember there is already /dev SDA1 available. So maybe let me add. As soon as the volume get attached, right, you should be able to see available to in use. You go and check the EC2 instance. You need to refresh one. Once you refresh, select the go to storage. You should be able to see there are two volumes newly added. You can see the device. Okay, future you are detaching again. You are doing some operation. You are attaching back. So make use of follow the device. That is the identity in which path your volume has. Okay, so now we can go inside of the server. Here you go. GB. What is it? Offline. We need to bring it online. We need to do set of things to create it. So we cannot directly use this. What we need to bring it to online. We need to initialize this. We initialize, right? We need to create new simple. Okay, this way really good. Here you go. Volume has been mapped. Okay, this is the reason. This is the why people love to create EC2 instance, because we don't want to turn off or shut down the server. The online itself we can do all. Okay. I think so far we have provisioned one particular volume. If we go there, this particular volume has been created and mapped. We do similar way. The 70 GB volume and 50 GB. Let me go to the console. Let me go to volume. Let me create a new volume. Same volume size should be 70. Come down beyond 1B availability zone. Let me create a same way. Let me create volume. Same size should be. I'll scroll down. It should be 1B availability zone again, because all are going to the same server, right? So here you can see two volumes. This one. So what we will do? We'll attach. Okay. If you go to the action, if you want to increase the size, you can increase. Click on modify. You cannot decrease it. Only you can increase where you wanted to increase it. Decrease it, it will throw you error. But you can increase to. So that is something called a modify. Apart from that, right, we have an option for create snapshot. Snapshot is kind of a backup. We are going to see in a few minutes. This is something delete volume. If you want to delete it, you can. Let me attach the volume. Okay, have attached. Refreshes. Should be able to see many two more volumes are now. So you should be able to see few people are newly added. We bring it this. Create a volume. Okay, so this is how we have to make sure volumes are to we go there. So whatever you want, right, you can go there. This is my 50 GB volume you want it. Okay, so that is what now people are sending that. So as per their need, right, we have created 3 new EC2. Now next up, set up backup for TGB volume. Okay, so in this particular volume, right, they're asking us to how can we configure in AWS, right? We have an option called snapshot. Okay, technically it's called as a way. What is the use of using the snapshot, right? You would be able to take specific backup for that particular EBS volume. Okay. So future anything happened to your volume or somebody deleted the data, something corrupted, whatever, from the snapshot, we can make use of the snapshot to recover. How can we confirm that? Go to that server. This is your 50 GB volume. On that 50 GB volume, if you select this, you go to action to create. You have an option to create. Okay. So let me click on create snapshot. So it's asking for the snapshot description. I'll give like 2 GB EBS volume. I'll click on create. If you under the EBS volume, if you click on the snapshot, so snapshot is being creating. You need to wait status of progress, how much progress it has completed, all those information, right? Here you can see basically, right, this will clearly indicate the number of percentage of snapshot creation has been completed. Also based upon the size of volume, right, it may be unavailable. One snapshot as created, right, here you can come and you can snapshot works in two ways. One is full backup incremental. For the very first time, whenever you take any backup of any particular volume, so it will take the full for the very first. From next time onwards, if you configure the snapshot, it will not take the full backup once again. Whatever the changes made in the vault, that only will be. So in the live projects, right, people will schedule for all the critical server 6 hours one or two snapshot backup automatically will be taken per day, or every day one backup will be. So like that, depends upon the project and organization policy. They will configure the snapshot backup in auto. Now let's complete this graphical user interface way of creating snapshot, and I'll also show you how to enable. Okay, so I think available became. Let's come now using the snapshot, right? I have a various different advantages and different things are, because people usually will tell using the snapshot what we can. One basic thing, this is a backup. Something happened to my source volume that can be restored. Okay, but at the moment of creating snapshot, whatever the data available, only that we restored. Don't misunderstood in such a way. Okay, in future, today I created the snapshot backup. After 1 week, I delete my volume or my volume get corrupted, or it will whatever, I can recover my data snapshot. Don't misunderstood like that. At the moment, today what time you taken a backup, whatever the data available, only those portion has been backed up. During the week, if you are updating anything newly, right, those content and all will not be backed up. Okay, so if you wanted to regularly take backup, regularly you need to backup schedule, daily once or daily twice morning, like that. Depends upon your your criticality and business need, you should configure backup method. Okay, so for now 50 GB volume as backed up. Now I can go to the action. I can see various various ways or something like create volume from the, which means that when you click on create volume chart, it will allow you to create a new volume. While creating new volume, right, you will get few advantage. If you wanted to change the volume type, if you want to increase the size, you can increase it. If you want to change the IOPS or this basic setting, you can do it. If you wanted to change the availability, do it. So these many options are possible when you create a new volume. What are the benefits you are getting? We'll be getting option to change volume type, increase the size. We can change the availability zone. So we would able to change the IOPS put out. We can change the IOPS. Yeah. So these many options are possible. Also, you wanted to know, obviously we can create a volume from the snapshot. Also, we can copy this snapshot to another to another region. That is also. Can we do it? We go to the console. See, if we go to the snapshot, go to copy snapshot. There is option of okay. So when you click on copy snapshot, copy to another region. Also, you can create not only a volume, you can even create a image. The snapshot. Image means AMI. Okay. From this snapshot, they can create a AMI. For an example, if you took the backup of your C drive, then you can convert particular. Okay. So these many advantages are there. Copy snap to another region, can make it as a so these many options has been given by AWS. You have one. So these are all the advantage when you EBS volume and snapshot. Okay, cool. So in that server, right, enable remote and web server from anywhere. Basically, I told you, right, we need to have, there is a component called security group in the EC2 instance. We go to there is option called security. Okay, here there is option available security. If you go there, right, there will be a security group in new tab. So in this particular security, right, you should be able to see there are several inbound and outbound. What is inbound and outbound? Inbound means incoming request. So from the outside, who are trying to access your particular EC2 instance, that is something called as a inbound. And also outbound from your server, what are all the things you are transferring out from your server, that is considered as outbound. There are two options. That's what I said. Mostly, right, we won't be worried about outbound. Whatever going out from my server, right, not an correct. Whatever going out my server, we need to be very much conscious. What are the packets are coming in, what are the packets are which is coming towards my server. So what we will do in the inbound rule, we will specify which ports allowing, port I am denying. You can even see by default AWS also they have said like outbound is allowed to all traffic, but inbound you can see only they allowed to RDP. RDP means remote desktop. Right now we are taking RDP session, we are accessing through remote, right? All these things we are doing it via RDP protocol because it's open to the security. If this security group is not there, right, anyone can access, anyone can come inside the server. Okay, then there is no security. People won't believe cloud. This security group, right, act like a software security group, act like a software firewall. So here you will have to specify what port you are going to access, what port you are going to deny. Those information, right, you need to specify here. Only then in the particular EC2 instance, right, you will be able to. Right now we are not deploying any application, so no worries. But if you are not deploying it also, security, the red layer is called as a security. Here I will be specified HTTP. So I'll have to specify other ports are allowed, everything. That's what they are telling in that server, enable remote service from anywhere. So they want me to globally allow that remote web service HTTP. So already RDP is in enable state only. Already RDP is in enable state only. Let me enable only web service. Can edit inbound, can add inbound. Here almost all the ports and protocols are displayed, whichever the one you want to get. I'm looking for HTTP, so let me pick it up. So here you go. You can add your specific IP. You can add your own IP, or you can add any other IPv4. Anything you want, you can do it. So let me give custom, so that when I give 0.0.0, anyone in the world access with this HTTP. So usually we'll not do like that. In the production standard, we'll have to do it in such a way we are allowing only to our network. Okay, so now I'm going to allow only my IP. This is my particular IP which is coming up. Save the. So this rule has. So likewise, we can add a specific rule to my server. Okay, hope this use case very much interesting and informative to you all. Quick summary of this use cases. We have created the EC2 instance. We learned about EBS volume, how to create a new EBS volume. Also, we learned about what is regions and what is availability zone. After that, we have discussed about how to create a new volume and attach server. Then we have talked about how to take a snapshot backup for EC2 instance, followed by the snapshot, right? How we can enable the security group, deal with the security group, and what are the benefits of taking snapshot. Once snapshot is ready, what other options we have to change those things. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Next video, I'll come up with one more scenario in EC2 itself. Thank you all.